Isn't this the coolest thing you ever saw? I'm going to show you how to make this really cool lantern that you can use indoors when the lights go out or outdoors. And it comes with its own little cover. So stay tuned and I'll show you how we can do that today on Crafting with Nyler. This lantern came in handy when Hurricane Michael came through, and it was very, very useful when we had to make those bathroom trips in the dark. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to make this. This is just a recycled container, and we crochet a lid to cover the top. As simple as that. And inside we have the LED candles, so nothing burns, and it's very safe, and you don't have to worry about anything melting or anything. So I thought that was kind of cool. So today I'm going to show you how I made these, and hopefully you can make some for your family and friends as well. The one I'm going to make today is going to cover this jar. Now this is a glass jar, so I want this one to be nice and sturdy because I like making homemade dressing, and I like to make the gravy to go on it, and I normally transport it, and I can't ever find anything to transport it in without it spilling in the buffet trays. So I decided I'm going to use this glass jar that pickles came out of, and I'm going to crochet a cover to go on the outside with a handle, and that way I can transport my gravy while it's hot in this glass container, and I can have a handle to carry it, and it makes transport so much easier. Now the first thing we're going to do is going to work on the base, and I am using, I like just worsted yarn, whatever yarn you want to use. I'm actually using a K-hook. And I'm going to start by doing a chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to slip stitch in the first chain and then join the chain to create a hole. Now I'm going to chain 2. So now I'm going to work, not counting the chain 2, I'm going to work 9 single crochets inside of my hole. Here is my number 9, and I'm going to slip stitch in the top of the chain 2 space, and that gives me my whole base. So this time I'm going to, and I like to crochet around my tails, so I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to work 2 double crochets in each of the 9 singles that I did, so that's going to give me 18. Now I'm at the last one, so that's 17 and 18. And again, we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 space. Okay, now you have your row 2. I'll leave the directions or the instructions in the description if you would like to have the written instructions. So now I'm going to go to my next row, and we're going to chain 3 again. And then we're going to work, this time I'm going to work a double crochet in the first one, and then 2 double crochets in the next one. And then we're going to repeat that pattern. 1 double crochet in the next one, and then 2 double crochets in the next one. And I'll just complete this all the way around until I get back to the beginning. So now I'm down to my last stitch, and I'm going to do 2. Notice we started with doing 1, and we're going to end with doing 2. Okay, so now I'm going to do a slip stitch also again into the top, and then that gives us our next row. Now this next row I'm going to do 2 in every stitch because I want to get it a little wider, so I'm going to do 2 in each one this time. Now this is not your traditional increase, so this is a little different from what you may have been taught about increasing. Like I said, this is Nyla's version of this lantern. So I'm going to continue that all the way around till I get back to the beginning. So now I'm down to my last one, to my last stitch, and I'm going to do my 2 double crochets. And again, I'm going to join into the top of the chain 3 space. Okay, and as you can see, we're getting some shape. So you want to measure the bottom or the base of your jar first to see how much more space you need or how many more rows you need. So in my case, I can do another row. I think if I do another row, I think I'll have my base pretty much covered. For my next row, I'm going to increase once. So 1, 2, 3, chain 3, and I'll do the same thing I did with the row prior to the one we just did. I'm going to do 1 double crochet, and then I'm going to do 2 double crochets. I'll follow that pattern around again to get to the size that I need for the base of my jar. So I'm going to do that and finish that all the way around, and then I'll show you how we'll start to curve up. So I'm down to my very last one, so I'm going to do one last double crochet and slip stitch in the top of the chain 3 space again. Okay, now that completes the base. Now on the next row, we're going to chain 3, and this time I'm going to do 1 double crochet in each stitch. I'm not going to do any increasing this time, just 1 double crochet in each stitch, because I almost got it about where I want it for the base. Because remember that the crochet project is going to stretch a little bit as you put it onto the jar, so I don't have to worry too much about getting it a perfect fit. I'm down to my last 2, so I'm going to do a double crochet in the last 2 stitches to finish off my row, and then I'm going to slip stitch in the top of the chain 3 space, or the chain 3. So now you see it's starting to kind of curl, so now is where we want to try it out for the base of our jar. And as you can see, when I put it on the base, it looks like it fits. And that's pretty much, what you want to do. So you want to keep doing the increase. Increase each row like that until you get to the row that you think is the final row. And that final row that will make your base, you want to make sure it's only single crochets. Single double crochets. You're not going to increase it at all. It's just 1 double crochet in each stitch once you get it to where you think it wants to start curling up. So now we're going to start working up the sides. I'm going to go ahead and chain 3, and then I'm going to work a double crochet in each stitch, no increase, but I'm only going to work in the back loop only. So I'm going to do a double crochet in the back loop in every stitch, and you'll do this all the way around till you get back to the start of your row. And I'll show you by stitching in the back of the back loop, I'll show you the effect that you get. So I'm going to do this all the way around till I get back to the beginning, and I'll show you what we're going to do next. So now I'm back around. You can see now it's starting to come up like a bowl. It's getting a little curve to it. So I'm going to double crochet in the last 2 back loops, and then slip stitch in that chain 3 space again. So now that's given us our bowl. So now the bowl will sit right inside of it. So now it's actually coming up on the side. I'm going to flip it so you can see how it comes up like this, and you see that seam that we did when we did the back loop. Now that becomes the bottom of the base, and it kind of looks really cute because it looks like it was just kind of made to come up, and that gives us like a nice little edge or a nice little crease right there. So you flip it on the inside. Now we're going to be working from the inside out. So now what I'm going to do is work another row of single crochet to come up, and then we'll start doing our decorative stitches. So I'm going to chain 1, 2, and 3, And this time I'm going to work through the entire loop. I'm not doing the back loop only. So I'm just going to do one single crochet in each, one double crochet, excuse me, in each of the double crochets, and do that all the way around until I get back to the beginning. Okay, I'm back around to my last two. So I'm going to double crochet in those last two. And once again, slip stitch in the chain 3 space, top of the chain 3. And chain 3. And now we're ready for our next decorative stitch row.